Prosperity, certainly something to strive for. A list of how prosperity is forming and changing across the globe has been published. Russia did very poorly. Very, very poorly. According to the Legatum Institute, Russia is 68 in a list of 142 countries. The rank is based on several traits, including the economy, governance, and personal freedoms. It was so surprising to see that Saudi Arabia, a country that beheads dozens of people each year, ranked higher than Russia. And the United Arab Emirates, where the death penalty can be imposed for being gay, ranked even higher. But then I looked closer and saw that the think tank is based in Dubai. So it all makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Legatum Institute. The think tank held a special panel to discuss and debate Russia. Only there was no discussion and certainly no debate. Gonzo journalist Nimrod Hammer went to check it out.
This is the Legatum Institution. This is a panel about reality and Russia. The event is like a U.S. government think tank thing?
No, this is all track 2, track 1.5. It's an opportunity for practitioners like myself to hear from people who've been watching and thinking about these issues from academia, from the media, from Ukraine, from Europe.
And you practitioner in what, so we know?
I'm the American ambassador.
Oh, obviously, yeah. The hashtag here that everybody's supposed to use is Russia versus reality, but no one knows how to spell it, either VS or versus. There are no Russian journalists in the panel? Or you think it's balanced, basically?
Well, I think that, this is a discussion about how we, as the United States, our European partners, the Ukrainians, are going to deal with this relentless campaign of information aggression that Russia's engaged in.
Russia is pursuing a very well-financed and energetic and ruthless and unscrupulous propaganda war against us, and this is going on. You better wake up to it.
Inside, there's a panel talking about disinformation in Russia, but there's no food, just small nibbles and crackers.
This is not a U.S. government event. This is
it's a think tank.
It's a think
funded
tank
by.
Event. They've decided who we're going to be talking with, but it's an opportunity, as I said, for
who's funding
people
the
like myself,
think tank?
People like myself who are in government to get the advice of the people who've been thinking about these issues, including most important of all, I think, the Ukrainians.
And who's funding basically the think tank?
You'll have to ask others.
Okay, brilliant. You can find misinformation spreading by every country in the world, but this panel is only about the Russian situation, and there are no Russian voices in the panel, and it is funded by the U.S. government with the U.S. ambassador to the Ukraine and the Ukraine government official. Can you give me 2 examples of disinformation by the U.S.?
2 examples of disinformation by the U.S.? No, I can't.
None.
This is not. There must be somewhere, but I'm not ready to.
Because you don't follow that.
I follow what's relating to my country, and my country is under immense aggression not from the U.S.
Everyone knew who came to this event what was going to be discussed.
So it's like watching Fox News, like one opinion.
I don't watch Fox News.
The biggest lie, would you say, coming from Russia?
The biggest lie is that Ukraine is a society which is somehow divided. The line that comes from the Kremlin on occasion that Ukraine is a country on the brink of civil war, or even that Ukraine is not a real country.
Did you ever go to the eastern part of the country to see the actual situation firsthand?
I have not. Since the conflict has begun, I have not traveled there. My colleagues have. I had some of my senior colleagues who were in Slavyansk a few weeks ago.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks. Have a good one. Give me 2 examples of disinformation by the U.S. government in recent years.
In recent years? No. I mean, you tell me.
Nothing by the U.S.
Well, you give me an example of the U.S. government feeding a journalist a false story and then having it reported as actual fact.
Nothing about whistleblowing and Snowden feeding, like the U.S. feeding journalists.
Well, no. If anything, the U.S. government wanted to sort of keep all of those secrets hidden from journalists.
Russia is indeed a great big country. Territorially, it's the biggest country in the world. But that doesn't actually, just its size, doesn't make it a great country.
What about Tetris, the video game they invented?
Okay, wow. I'm not saying they haven't done anything.
Okay. Any amount of hypocrisy in this event at all?
Hypocrisy in this event?
Yeah.
No, I don't think there was.
They don't really criticize local issues.
What would you think if the Russians organized a similar, conference about the U.S. disinformation in Cuba, for example? Are you pushing for more escalation for the Russians? Thank you very much.
this panel had no Russian people, and not only that, it also had no Russian opposition people like Kasparov, people who are opposed Putin. Nothing. And no one answered the question about Cuba.